As the head of the UN observer mission to Syria briefed the Security Council, the violence that has kept his monitors from doing their job continued. General Robert Mood's first in-person report to the Security Council painted a grim picture, where violence has steadily increased, putting his observers in danger.
I was also able to bring to the Council my very high respect for the courage and the commitment of my observers on the ground, working in very difficult circumstances, where violence, including shelling, small arms fire and other incidents, are coming much closer, and we have been targeted several times over the last few weeks. This violence to the utmost in itself, but also because it made it very difficult to execute the mandated activities of my mission, led me to the decision a few days ago to halt the activities of UNSMIS.
General Mood will evaluate the security situation on a daily basis, emphasize his mission's commitment, and that the observers will get back to work as soon as he feels it's safe. The Syrian ambassador after the meeting said that the violence is not one-sided.
There is a terrorist dimension in the Syrian picture, and we have to deal with it. This is why these gentlemen today, all of them, told you that there is no plan B. The only way to push forward is to guarantee the success of the 6 points plan of Mr. Kofi Annan.
There are still divisions within the Security Council, and each day of increased violence confirms the weakening of the Annan 6-point plan, both sides ignoring the call to lay down their weapons. Some think the Security Council has exhausted their role in the conflict.
There's a difference between when diplomacy has failed and when the UN Security Council has gone as far as it can go. I think we're at the second point. And certainly the events of the last 2 days have shown us that if this thing is shifting from the Security Council to Washington-Moscow bilateral relations, it's going to be worse.
President Obama and President Putin, after their first face-to-face meeting, agreed that the violence in Syria has to stop, but little else. No word how the two countries are going to work together to help make that happen. Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera at the United Nations.
Meanwhile, Syria was a major concern among world leaders at the G20 summit in Mexico. U.S. President Barack Obama met his Chinese and Russian counterparts there. Hu Jintao and Vladimir Putin have opposed calls for Bashar al-Assad's ouster. But Obama says they all agree that the situation in Syria is very dangerous.
We had a very candid conversation. I wouldn't suggest that at this point the United States and the rest of the international community are aligned with Russia and China in their positions, but I do think they recognize the grave dangers of all-out civil war.
We believe that no one has the right to decide for other nations who to bring to power and who to oust from power.